How's it hanging, YouTube's Peter here, your Ginger Joe the Geek. Welcome back to the channel for another Geek Art Attack. And today we're going to be doing all things computer games and video games and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good fun one. I can't do it alone. I've got a whole host of people to talk to and to take part in the competition. But we'll start off with the co-hosts of the show. We'll start off with good old James T. Ayo.
Ayo.
Ayo. And welcome back from holiday, mate. How are you?
Cheers, man. I'm good. I've soaked in enough sun for the year, so I'm pretty happy. I'm rejuvenated.
Ready for action.
That's
good
it.
Stuff. And James can't do it alone, so we are joined as ever by our good friend Efren. How are you doing, Efren?
Peter, you know how much you matter to us. Yesterday, James and I got together on our day off to prep for your show. That's how much you matter to us. So
that's what I expect, Efren. That's what I expect, me.
Nothing less.
Yeah, I really do appreciate that, Efren. I know you spent your Sunday getting ready for the show, so I do appreciate that. How are you anyway? Are you well?
Doing fine. Yep. Getting ready for this show. I like this show because I don't have to draw. And thank you for not asking me to draw. So,
I'm with you, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. And I'm hoping that you guys have got some interesting things for to draw tonight, computer game related. Good stuff. Right. So, like I said, we've got a massive panel tonight. Lots of interesting individuals to take part. So we'll start off with our good friend JP. How you doing, mate?
Hello. I'm all well. Very well. Thank you very much for having us back.
You've been sharpening your pencils, ready for action?
I certainly have.
Excellent. Good. We've also got Comic Lad Simon. How are you doing, Simon?
How are we? Yeah, I'm not too bad, man. You?
Excited? Oh, that was good. Yay!
Yay!
Now, Simon, you showed up last time and you are superb, so I'm expecting some good art from you. In fact, everybody was very good.
We were last time, weren't we?
Yeah. So everybody was very cool last time, just to kind of counterbalance that skill we've got. Phil, how are you doing, Phil?
He's paused.
You're on mute,
mate.
Muted himself.
That's Pete's the host. I thought he would have been on top of that, by unmuting me straight away. Sure. And grab me back. I'm delighted to be here to show off my artistic flair, as I do every week, every month.
Good stuff. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you, Phil. So we're looking forward to seeing what you've got to do tonight. Now we've got some YouTube royalty. We've got Charlie from the Killer Comic Show. How are you doing?
Hey, you want this?
I think we should just trend this from now on. Every time we come onto the show, we'll do a Simon Wave. How are you, Charlie? Are you well?
I'm all right. I'm good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, you've missed a couple, so I'm pleased to have you back, mate. Looking forward to seeing what you've got to show tonight. Now, we've now got a proper artist on the show as well. Kev, how are you doing, Kev?
Hi, I'm good. Sorry that I was very, very late. But
not a problem at all, my friend. Not a problem at all. Are you? How are you doing at the moment?
All good. Yeah. Happy.
Good stuff. I was going to ask you, did you get word from Thought Bubble? Are you going to be able to? No,
didn't get it. But I am doing London Film and Comic Con.
I mean, it's not a good start if you don't know where you're going.
I'm going to London, but I'm going to be there in the beginning of July. So
good stuff. Excellent. Now, a couple of months back, we had an artist Supreme on. I'm very, very pleased to say he's come back tonight for a second go at the competition. So, just a quick introduction. Very loud, that.
Very loud. I didn't hear it.
What a tune.
Alex,
that's
how
how
are
his
you,
little head
friend?
pops up at the bottom.
Oh my god, I'm good now.
Thank you so much for joining. We really do appreciate you joining, mate.
Of course,
I know you're a very busy
man.
man. Yeah, I know you're a very busy man, so I do appreciate you spending some time with us tonight.
Of course.
And I just want to start before we kick off into the kind of the chat and whatnot. Reading your current book, Breath of Shadows, it's rank. in a good way. In a good way. Do you know what I mean? The latest issue, Charlie, I don't know if you guys have reviewed and read that one yet.
Yeah, I've never wanted to be a rock star. Now I really don't want to be a rock star, man.
I mean, the other guys are fine.
Yeah.
In the deepest, darkest thoughts, Alex, you must have some deep shit going on, man.
I mean, it was Rich's idea. I was going to have them all just have a good time in the woods.
But yeah, some of the imagery in that book is absolutely stunning.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The centipedes and the
now that the series is over and everything, like it's all wrapped on my side, I can't even tell you how happy I am not to draw centipedes anymore. I mean, they're just gross.
Good. Okay, guys. So just going to quickly jump into the comments. See who we've got. We've got good old StreamYard as usual. Thank you for joining. Fuzzy unfortunately can't be with us tonight, but he's just sent some support there. So thank you very much, Fuzzy. Do appreciate that. We've got Alb0811. Thank you very much. I suggest something wacky like a clicker head on Mario's body.
Why you should have DM'd me on Instagram this? I would have had that ready to go.
We did clickers last time, but James, didn't we? We did clickers.
But there's millions of them. Could have done bonus.
Jack, thank you very much for joining, bud. We've got good old Ian Carter. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate you stopping by. We've got Wayne Deacon. Thank you, Wayne. And we've got our good friend Austin. Thank you very much, Austin. Appreciate you joining, bud. Okay, right. So let's get straight on with the show. So tonight we are here to talk. Christ, these look tiny on the screen now. We've got so many of these. We're here tonight to talk computer games and video games. This is my memory of arcade machines. Back in the good old days when you used to go and you used to play
1932.
Back in the 30s, yeah, pre World War II, yeah.
Go away from just said abacus.
You guys got any memories of video game machines in proper arcades? Is that something that's big in America, Alex?
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I remember playing like the X-Men Capcom or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch all the time. Whenever I could get out to an arcade, I mean, it was always like someone had to have a birthday for me to get out to an arcade.
Yeah.
But I always joke around that like the last video game I played, like that I really got into was Sonic and Knuckles. Right,
yeah.
And then like after that, like everything else in life kind of got in the way. I'm like, I'll pick this up later. But it's actually great because my son, who's 6 now, he's picking up Sonic, and he thinks I'm the greatest in the world because I'm like, oh yeah, I got this one. He's like, oh my god, Daddy, look at it. I'm like, that's right, I am. Yep. If I get past Sonic and Knuckles, then I'm screwed. But
Alex, you said you like Sonic, so that's a good choice. Just giving you a hint.
There you go. Yeah,
maybe that'll come up there.
I mean, but, I remember it was the Turtles game. I remember playing on a lot, and back in the day, it was Moon. What was the Michael Jackson movie? Was it Moonraker?
Moonwalker.
Moonraker's Bond, isn't it? And there was like a hologram arcade thing, which was very, very cool. But these days, a lot of the arcades in the UK, I know there's some people in the comments there saying that they've still got them in the States, but most of the arcades that I see are kind of the fruit machines for winning money. There's not a lot of kind of game machines, if you know what I mean.
Well, there's one bit we touched on it a few shows back. It's near where I live. It's called the Heart of Gaming, and it's a whole retro room set up, and there's everything in there. You pay £30, you can spend the whole day there. And there's everything there. And then based on the back of that, I went and purchased this little RGX 35, which is like a retro game thing. So it's an emulator. So it's got everything up to PlayStation 1, Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, MAM, everything on there. So I'm very much still into my, and I love the fact that I've got 3 boys that are into gaming as well. So I can't. Love it.
So is that like an emulator or something you put in, Charlie, so you can get access to all the different games on it?
Yeah. So that's like it's based on the Game Boy, and you just literally get all the emulators, PlayStation 1, and it just plays onto it, and it adapts the graphics and everything to the game that you're playing.
Nice.
So yeah.
It brings us on to this. There's been a whole host of different game machines over the years. There, I recognise the Master System, Sega Master System.
Yeah.
I think that was my first game. SNES and all the rest of it. Anybody got any favourites? I know James, you're a big gamer. Which one jumps out at you? PlayStation?
The original PlayStation. Some of my earliest memories sitting playing. I'm wearing the T-shirt tonight, Spyro. Or watching my sister play Spyro because it was her PlayStation and I wasn't allowed to play it.
Plus, you can get the PS1 chipped and get every game you could possibly get
Yeah.
for it. They were the good old days.
That was the good old days, Phil. Very true.
Yeah. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Siphon Filter, the Harry Potter games on PS1. Like the earliest memories are playing those. So yeah, that's why I have such a nostalgia for PlayStation, and I'm now an obsessive collector of
What about you, Efren? Are you a big gamer? I know you.
You may want to kick me out after I say this, but no. One game I really enjoyed. I told James about it, and Alex mentioned it. Is Sonic the Hedgehog. That's the only game I ever finished. But Alex, I don't know if you remember this. It was a handheld game. It was American football, and it was like little dots, and you would just move them up and down to try to get past the other defensive team. I used to love that handheld game. It was so basic.
Yeah,
I was enthralled by it. You know?
Oh my god! Yeah, I remember, especially sports games like that. Like because we had my brother had Nintendo. Like my dad had an Atari, but I don't remember that even being around. My brother had a Nintendo, and he knew always grabbed me, like, all right, you got to be player, like you got to be the other team. And I would just be like, great, and I would just like smash the buttons. I'm like, am I doing great? He's like, yeah, you're fine. Most of the time, I wasn't even plugged in. And he'd be like, hey, mom just said you gotta come down. So.
Yeah.
But in the Sega, but yeah, after Sega.
Yeah.
Andy's saying there's ZX Spectrum for the win. Oh yeah, I remember I had a Spectrum, Andy, and then an Amiga, I think it was. What about you, Kev? You're a bit, dare I say, younger than me. What's your computer kind of games?
So I'd say like the thing that got me back into gaming was the PS4 with the Arkham games. So I got those and stuff. But like my first console was we had the SNES, so the Super Nintendo, and that was like I got a lot of nostalgia for the Mario games and Zelda on there. So that's what I like. I'm no good at them. But
Everybody's seen the Mario movie. Alex, is that one you've seen with your kids?
I took my boy twice. Yeah,
I loved it. Charlie, you've seen that one, man.
Kind of fun, right?
Yeah. I was sitting. My wife got a picture of me. I was with my three boys, and I'm sitting there for the whole film, just literally leaning forward. I thought it was amazing. And did any of you stay for the second ending?
Yeah.
With Yoshi at the end.
Yoshi,
the little egg. But yeah, that was wicked. It was amazing. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Phil, I'm going to come to you next, mate. This is a bit of a collection of some of the different computer game characters that have graced the screen. Are there any on here that you're hoping to see tonight?
What's the easiest one to draw? I mean, Yoshi's fairly simple, and Bomberman. They're easy. Yeah, they're easy.
It's like Pac-Man.
Parappa the Rapper, remember him?
Yeah, Papa the Rapper.
Right. How about you, Comic Lad Simon? Any in here that you're interested in seeing tonight?
So I am playing at the moment the new Zelda game on the Switch. So I'm looking forward to maybe doing Zelda. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry
Interesting.
to disappoint you.
Okay, guys. So enough chat. Let's get on to the actual game itself. So, like I said, we're here tonight to talk about computer games and do some art. As ever, there is a competition. So anybody that's watching that wants to send in some artwork, DM us on Instagram at Triple G Comics. You can send in anything themed around the show. But if you want to play along at home and do some of the rounds with me, please do that, and then send us, like I say, the DMs later on, and I'll put them on the screen at the end of the night. Sorry. Just again, the rules, guys. You can do it in any medium you want. So you can, if you wanted, you could do it in plasticine, but I would imagine most people are going to draw. We have got a few seconds to do some reference material. So after James and Efren tell me what we're going to do, you'll have a minute or so to try and find an image.
All right.
Each round is 5 minutes max, unless we forget to switch off the timer. And it's best of 4 rounds. And then at the end of that, there'll be a 5th round, which is the audience telling me what they want to draw.
You did say 5 minutes, right, Peter? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
For that,
15 minutes. 15.
Yeah, that's what we normally go for. 5.
We just started
all night,
talking about baseball for half an hour each.
Okay, so with that, ladies and gents, I'll hand over to James and Ephraim. What have we got, guys?
Right now, boys. So, is everybody here at least vaguely familiar with Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you more than 5 minutes for this. I want you to design your own Mortal Kombat character. So a character that you think would fit into this universe. It's very comic booky. It's a bit of like kind of kung fu, Big Trouble in Little China, kind of mystical stuff. So I'll give you closer to 10 minutes because you have to think of an idea first as well. So that's your first chance. Give us a new Mortal Kombat character.
A new Mortal Kombat.
So
and if you guys create a whole
There's
new
that many,
character,
James. Bloody heck.
Yeah, this is like a fraction.
Okay, double
If-
dip on it.
if you guys create a whole new character, now Peter has the rights to this character since it's his
Yeah.
channel.
Is it? All right.
I'm gonna
Ephraim, I like that. Yeah.
I'll be tweeting Ed Boone your drawings anyway. Maybe you'll throw one in the next game. Yeah. So all right, timer's on. So Ephraim, there is a writer strike on at the moment.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of go through kind of what the impact that this maybe is going to have on movies and TV shows going forward. Just first up, what's your kind of thoughts on the like writers striking? Like, are you in support of them, or how much you know about this?
I'm in support of them because one, I think they should get their due of what they do. Without writers, we wouldn't have any TV shows or movies. And it's not just about money. They actually, when you write, I didn't think about it. Some of them are not even at the studio. They just send in their, material to the studios, and then they do their thing. Some of these writers, they want to be more in the process of everything and learn more, which I think is good. So I'm, as much as it's going to hurt us, not be able to see some shows or movies, they're going to be delayed. I'm all for it. Yes.
Yeah, I was reading up about this today, and I was shocked to hear that some writers are on minimum wage.
Yeah.
There was even, which, like, if you're living in California, I'd imagine you'd know this, Ephraim, but particularly Los Angeles, like, you just can't live on that. And, like, there was even, I think, there's this show called The Bear, and one of the writers couldn't afford to go to the Emmys and they won, like, best writing. So it's insane. Like, these people should be getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions,
Right.
It's like really like a project lives or dies by its writing. Like, I think you can survive a bad director or a bad actor if you have a really good script. So it's kind of shocking to me that they're kind of being looked over in this way. So yeah, I think absolutely. But looking at like the impact this is going to have, first off, the stuff that's not being impacted. So these are things that are either finished filming, or scripts have been finished first. So House of the Dragon season 2 is fine. Scripts were finished months ago. That's filming at the moment. Secret Invasion and Loki, they're fine as well. They're both coming out in the next 6 months or so. On the Star Wars side, the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. Acolyte, I think, is currently filming. Skeleton Crew is finished. So those are grand. And then Andor is an interesting one because it's filming at the moment. Tony Gilroy has said he's the writer and the kind of showrunner. He's not even showing up to set to do like producer stuff. He's just like completely step back, but they're continuing filming, so presumably the release won't get delayed anyway. And sorry, one.
Daredevil. I heard they shut down. Yeah, Daredevil's not on.
Daredevil is in the middle of filming, so that's shut down completely.
Yeah.
I presume there's some episodes because it's 18 episodes or something.
Yeah.
Presumably, like the scripts aren't finished yet. This one really breaks my heart. The Last of Us had to shut down pre-production. I'm absolutely gutted about that. And like as it was, I think we'd have been a couple of years from the next season, so this is going to push it back even further. Another one breaks my heart. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spin-off that was just announced like a month ago.
Oh wow.
That's they've stopped kind of writing on that one. That feels to me like one they might just scrap if the strike goes on long enough.
How long do you think it's going to actually go on for, James? Is there any kind of estimates or anything?
The last one went on for 6 months or so,
really?
in 2007, and like Heroes was basically ruined by it and got cancelled because of that. Bond, Quantum of Solace, Daniel Craig had to do like rewrites on the set, which is why some of the script of that is a bit iffy. So like 6 months is likely, if not even longer. But we're not going to feel like all of these were 2 years away anyway, so the knock-on effect is that long-lasting. Stranger Things, I'm not really sure where that is in production at the moment, if that's like been filmed or casted or anything like that. Because it's been like a year since the last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been about a year, right?
Yeah. So, but that's halted production.
And that already had a kind of a long. That wasn't due to come out for a long time, was it?
Yeah,
probably
a
year or something.
2 years away. Like Daredevil, I think was the end of next year, so that's like that will get pushed 6 months, I'd say. So yeah,
There was one that James and I talked about yesterday. Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is a writer on this movie, and he cannot. If he said he does a lot of ad libbing for his movies, to add things like at the last minute.
Yeah,
he cannot do that at all. He's not allowed to do that. So I'm curious to see if his movie is going to be affected at all by this.
I don't. Is that like because there's casting? Like they were only announced that some of the actors were coming back last month, so I assume it was approaching filming. And like Hugh Jackman's such a busy guy, is he gonna, he's gonna have to stay buff for that long and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one for him.
Yeah.
But like on the movie side, Marvel, particularly Blade, just got a new writer like a week before this happened. So that's the production on that has been so disastrous. Like it's just going through directors and writers and everything. I'm like wondering what's wrong with it. Like it should be like an easy slam dunk for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Fantastic Four, similar, I think. Scripting that is like being cast at the moment, but that'll probably see a delay as well.
Oh jeez, that's all a Fantastic Four movie needs, right?
Yeah, it's just shame. Like
forget it. Just forget it.
We just don't need this trouble. Like it's already fighting an uphill battle. I feel. To be a good Fantastic Four thing. And then on the Star Wars side, we just got 3 movies announced last month that what's going to happen to them. The Rey movie, Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, and then there was like an Origin of the Force movie with James Mangold. That one's going to get delayed presumably as well. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Efren, is there any you're particularly a bit like, I'm gutted now that this might be in trouble?
Jeez, I was disappointed about their Daredevil one, to be honest with you. I was like, I'm really looking forward to it. And then, if The Last of Us is delayed, that means your show, which I look so forward to it every week when we review The Last of Us, hint, hint, like and subscribe James' channel, is one of the best. I didn't know anything about this show. And I started watching it basically because, you were doing, weekly reviews of it. And I really enjoyed this show. And I hate to see any of these shows being delayed. It's going to be unfortunate.
Yeah. And like, I suppose at least there is like a bit of a time jump with The Last of Us. So between the first 2, season 1 and season 2. So this will like make that time jump a bit more closer to like the real world one. But yeah, like the fact that we didn't even get any casting for it. Like I don't know if they'll go ahead with casting because there's Craig Mason's the producer as well, so he's striking I think for both. So they'll just completely halt any work on it at all.
Going back to video games, is The Last of Us your favorite video game?
My second favorite. My first number one is it's a very close top 2. Number 1 is Uncharted 2. So that's by the same company that did The Last of Us. But I absolutely adore that game. It's a bit more of a pulpy kind of Indiana Jones action game. Did you see the Uncharted movie, Efren?
No,
it didn't bother.
No.
Tomb Raider ripoff.
It was referred to as Dude Raider, I believe, when it came out.
Where do you put the Harry Potter video games? I know you really enjoyed that one.
I really enjoyed what I played of it, but I only got about 20 hours in and I kind of moved on to something else. I can't remember, something else came out and then Star Wars came out and I've just been barreling through that. So I still have to go back to it, but it feels like one I might just end up in a year. It'll take me a year to go back to it, but I love the world and walking around Hogwarts and casting spells. Like it is like the Harry Potter game you would always dream of if you're a fan of that series and you like games. It was a great one. Interestingly, this whole writer strike thing doesn't affect video games at all. Like they're under a different they're not involved with the Writers Guild, I guess, because they're like video game developers. So if this one, we won't see any problems with them. On top of that, writing is usually one of the first things they do on a game. Like you often record dialogue like 2 years before that game even comes out. So it's at least for me, like as a video game fan, that's not going to impact anything on that side. But yeah, I'm bummed at like all these things that they'll get pushed 6 months, or some might get cancelled. I think we might end up seeing some shockers.
One more thing about this strike, you know how actors, especially on TV shows, where when they show reruns, they get a certain amount of money every year.
Yeah,
I don't know if writers get that also, but
no,
I think they should.
That's what they're arguing for. I believe they want some residuals.
Yeah, I think they should.
They just get paid off and things. Another kind of movie franchise curious about is the DC universe. Like, how's this going to impact that? Because James Gunn just finished, I think it was his first draft of Superman. So is that going to get pushed now a few months as well?
He can't do anything about it because he's a writer, for this. So
writer, producer, director, he's doing everything on it. And then you have like Creature Commandos. How far into filming was that? There's the Waller series and everything. Like, he just has to stop working for.
How much is this going to affect DC? Because we talked about Guardians of the Galaxy, that we had hope for DC. Was the way James was written and everything, giving us hope. But this is going to delay things, and I think DC is going to take a hit because of this.
Yeah, we'll see. It's curious anyway. How the impact this is going to have us. So, guys, I think that's enough time for you. If you want to put the pens down.
Just 1 second. He says.
Over 10 minutes, guys.
Well, over 10 minutes. All right, guys. All right, who's still drawing? Simon first.
Oh. So. You ready?
So look.
Butterfly.
Let me just make it. That is actually really cool. I'm trying to make it big.
The butterfly.
Butterfly. That's awesome. I love that.
That's a healthy lady.
Yeah.
No, I think that you definitely captured the Mortal Kombat kind of element of it with the mask and everything.
Yeah, I even signed it. So.
Yeah, very nice. I like that. Butterfly.
Dead Gallery next.
Awesome. Right, let's go. Phil.
Can I forfeit this one? Because I'm not very good if there's no reference material, and I'm worried this may offend people.
Oh no!
no one here, but maybe some of the ones in the audience, especially from Belfast, because I call us the Belfast Brawler, and I'll just show it. It's just really stupid. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you know. So,
color? Come on, that's good.
I like that.
He's got his balaclava on, and he's got two lead-filled bats that are obviously covered in blood. So controversial, but I don't have any. I'm not creative, so
I'd definitely be maining him in Mortal Kombat 12. Yeah, Peter.
So right, we've been talking on the show a little bit about King Kong and about Ginger Kong.
Ginger Kong.
Ginger Kong versus the lightning bloke. Is that Raiden or something?
Raiden, yes.
Raiden, yeah.
The lightning bloke.
That's
Ginger Kong.
Man. I love that.
I've got a new shot for tomorrow now.
Kev, there's a look.
That's
awesome.
I haven't got a name for him yet.
Very nice.
Nice.
But
I
he
love
can
that, man.
he can constantly flip because of the legs on his shoulders. So
I love that.
Very
That's amazing. Charlie,
I've gone for I've kept it deceptive. So I've gone for the bread blaster. So he's a toaster that shoots out electric bolts and bread with barbed wire and nails in it.
nice.
nice.
I think he'd be.
They have the voice going like toast him.
That's your finishing.
Toasty.
Oh, don't just say toasty, yeah.
Alex.
Oh, I'm up. All right. I figured I would do I did the dragon. I started with the dragon. So and I started doing shoulder pads with spikes, like what's her face? Who was the wrestling guy, tag team that did that?
Oh, Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom, yeah.
Oh, Legion of Doom.
But then I was looking at it, almost looks like a bra. I don't know what's going on with that. Whatever it is, dragon of death.
I love it, man. It is interesting.
Totally destroyed by the toaster of death.
Yeah. I don't think they have done I know one of the characters turns into a dragon to eat someone from
does he?
Italy. But
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang. An actual dragon character. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Yeah.
And GP, we haven't done you yet, have we?
No, save the best till last. But if I knew, in fairness, if I knew how long you were going to ramble on for, I would have done a chippy version. But this is below zero, Sub-Zero's brother. So there's that.
Oh. Love it. Fantastic.
Cool.
All right, guys, those are great. Hold them all up there now for the screen grab.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, James, since we rambled on so much, next one is only going to be 1 minute, guys. Okay, so
you
owe us 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Later than 10. Right.
I'll make it up at the end of the show.
Very cool. Very
have a look at the comments while we're here. See, we have Aristotrack joining.
Oh, hi,
everybody. Thought I'd check in, see what video games you guys are covering tonight. How's it going? Thanks for coming. Panels in our half pint. Evening peeps. There we go. Oh, trying to get off. All right. So that is everything. So, guys, next up, as Alex mentioned, one of his favorite characters is Sonic. So this is Efren's pick of the night. He would like a Sonic and Robotnik sequence, I guess, or put them together.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
So I'll give you
this
some.
Was my favorite game growing up. The one, like I didn't play that many video games, but I really enjoyed this game a lot.
Yeah. One of the best like mascot characters. And I'm really happy that his movies turned out so well. Like that people like them. And
these movies.
Did them well in the box office and everything. Right, so I'll give you a minute.
No, give him 1 minute. Remember, we said 1 minute.
I'll give you literally 1 minute.
1 minute.
Okay. Everybody ready?
No.
Too bad.
I'll just draw a page.
As Sonic, right. I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So Efren, I was on holidays, as Peter mentioned at the start of the show, and I went scuba diving. And it got me thinking about, first off, it was like one of the scariest things I've ever done. Like we were 8 meters under the water. It feels like if you mess up, you're going to die. Like legit, like I could die down here. I even had to sign like a waiver at the start. Like if you die, it's not our fault. And I was just curious, like if you have in your life, like ever done any kind of extreme activities, like base jumping or parachuting or,
I'd love to see
skydiving or anything like that.
Well, I've scuba dived myself also, and I did it at night in the Catalina Islands. I was in Southern California, and it scared the bejesus out of me. Like, I'm thinking at night, I had a flashlight, but I go, man, if a shark comes up to me, I'm done.
Yeah. And was that your first time scuba diving?
Yeah, I scuba dived about 20 years ago. I used to do it on a regular basis, but one time when I was in Hawaii, I jumped off a cliff into the ocean. And my cousin was there, and there was these ladies around her, and they said, "Who's that guy over there jumping?" And it was me. I just said I just wanted to jump into the water, and I've jumped off a waterfall in Hawaii also.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Like I'm not sure if because I genuinely thought at the beginning I'm not going to be able to do this, because when you dip your head under the water and you're breathing, it just doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel right. So like initially I was like, I don't know if I could even do this, but like we had a really great instructor who was kind of very patient with us and managed to get in, and it was like a really magical experience. I don't know if I could go much deeper than this though, because like you have to like pop your ears to like pressurize yourself, and like my mask eye goggles were filling up with water every now and then. You have to do this thing where you like hold them and blow
tilt back
to clear it. Yeah. It's like really scary, but like it was amazing. Is there any kind of any other ones like with skydiving? You ever done skydiving?
No, I've never done skydiving.
Something you'd like to do?
I've always wanted to do when you jump off a cliff, with the rubber band that brings you back up.
Bungee
jumping. I've always wanted to do that, but I've never done it before. I mean, I've climbed. I mean, it's something like this, but I've went down the Grand Canyon, and I felt very self-conscious because there's a wall and then there's a little road, and then there's the canyon. And I go, if you trip or fall, that's it. You're done. You know, you tumble down into the Grand Canyon, and that made me a little bit nervous for some reason.
I'd imagine so. Skydiving is one I've always.
I love that you added it for some reason. Like, no, the reason is you'll die.
For some reason. But like skydiving is one I've always wanted to try. I think I could do diving again if it was like a full mask, like I could go a bit deeper or something. But like I just at this, like you can tell by the look on my face, I'm just focusing on not dying.
You never went scuba diving before, so you technically were not certified to go scuba diving, right?
It's called a tri dive, they call it. So it's like a tester one. So like your one gave us the kind of protocols and everything, like do that to say you're okay.
Do you know what this means?
I can't breathe. Is it?
Yeah, I can't breathe. And this is like, share with somebody their breathing apparatus. If you want to share, you have to go. Just grab it from them. Just start breathing.
Yeah. But like, it's funny because the thumbs up means we're going up, or I want to go up. And it's like she was taking photo because we paid a little extra for like photographs, so that's why I have this. But every time she like went like pose for a photo, I wanted to do a thumbs up, but I like didn't want to tell her like, oh, I'm going up. So I just did this every photograph, but. It's I'm sure they told you this, but if you ever go scuba diving, you're not supposed to go faster than the bubbles ahead of you because your lungs, they could mess up because you have to go slow, descent up. Because if you go too fast, it's not healthy. It's very dangerous. You get what the bends, isn't it? They call it if you go too fast. Like that's why it's so claustrophobic, I think, because you're like almost trapped there, like you are completely at the mercy of your instructor. But it was honestly an amazing experience, and if it's something anyone's like interested in,
where was this at?
This is in Tenerife.
Okay,
I cannot remember. I would recommend the diving place, but I cannot remember the name of it. It was a really great instructor, though. I'll probably post these on Instagram at some point, and it's written on the bottom of them. So we'll have a look at the chat here. Scary, how do you think the fish felt? Yeah, I tried poking one and it just ran away. I was hoping to see. I didn't see any. All we saw was like there was a really cool. You see those black ones here with the blue around them. They were really cool, and we were told we might see turtles, but we didn't see any. There were some crabs as well, so I enjoyed that. But it was really really great experience. E-Man's World of Geek, diving into waterfall in Hawaii is fantastic, or cliff jumping in Maui. I love Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii is somewhere I've always wanted to go. You don't need a wetsuit when you're diving there, do you?
No,
because that'd be nice because it's squeezing into that thing's not easy. I tell you that.
Yeah, and you sweat a lot into the wetsuit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, it's horrible. I want to learn to scuba. I love snorkeling. Scuba is snorkeling, but underwater, getting up close to the fish is so peaceful to me. Yeah, I think you'd definitely recommend giving it a go. Anyway,
I did a fair bit of stuff like that when I was in the reserves, but the worst thing I think I ever did, based on my body shape, is caving. And I went. I did the kind of the lying on your belly climbing through caves.
I couldn't do that. Not hope.
I did something called the cheese press, which is a very famous kind of area where you're sandwiched in between two plates and you've got a slide on your belly. It was horrific. Absolutely.
There's not a hope in hell I could do anything close to that. Like just squeezing into things, like anything I could get trapped in, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that thing. I've seen enough horror movies. All right, guys, that's well over 5 minutes, so
man,
just a little bit longer, James. Come.
Nah,
enjoying this one.
These are taking advantage. Simon, I'll leave it last because you went first. Who is Charlie? You look very confident there. All right, he's a look here.
I had such a great idea, and it just doesn't. It's like he's meant to be Dr. Sonic, and he's giving. Like,
where's he putting that finger, Charlie?
So he's meant to be Dr. Robotnik has swallowed tails, and he's trying to get him out of his Dr. Robotnik, and it's just. It just totally went.
The Sonic itself is actually really
that's good.
Yeah, that's right. It's not too bad, but yeah, the rest of it.
Nice. Kev, does it look see?
Right, so I stuck to the Mortal Kombat theme, but had like a very rabid Sonic.
Oh, nice.
Jump on
Nice. That's so good.
So yeah,
I love it.
That's amazing, man. I love that.
Why are you all so good?
It's annoying, isn't it? Peter, join us in the hosting. It's,
Did you see?
nice.
Did you see mine, Peter? Like, no.
I can't unsee yours, Charlie.
GP.
Oh,
Nice.
Smart. Doing just a spin.
Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
That's a good idea.
I've just done that spin while you have been talking.
That's awesome, man. I love that.
Took us so long to draw bloody Robotnik.
Yeah. Phil, you ready there?
Yeah. Guys are like professionals. I'm here and here's me doing doodles like this. Like,
There you go.
Oh, that's tremendous.
It doesn't look bad, man. It doesn't look bad at all.
Phil, I think we might have used the same image.
Oh, Peter, that's lying to yourself up there now.
It's like Robotnik's got like an upset stomach. He's like, oh,
Why you kids?
He was under cartoon, sorry.
I love that.
Why are you all that?
Oh,
Lois Holloway.
oh yeah, great. Here you go. There he's going. I'll get you.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
good.
sweet.
Oh, tremendous.
Amazing. And Simon.
All right, I've just done the stare down.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
This show is so much fun when you're not doing
Yeah.
the
So much pressure when you are.
Yeah. I did get everybody, didn't
I think so. Yeah.
I? Awesome.
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah.
Very appropriately, we are joined by Sonic's Comics tonight.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Well, that's what made it into the Sonic
There
Drive.
you go.
Connie's joining us as well. Got my times
Hi,
mixed up
Connie.
and thought it started at 9. My bad. How's it going? Nice to see you.
Right.
All right, awesome. So,
Oh,
hold on up, guys.
sweet.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. Grant, right. So, what's the next one? Okay, guys. I'll give you a bit of freedom on this one.
Okay.
We want a video game screenshot.
What?
So you can do any game you want. You can do like a first person view, a Grand Theft Auto style third person view. You can do a fighting game, two guys fighting with the health bars, or you can do Mario. Now, no Tetris, no Pong, no Space Invaders. Like I don't want any cheap out like
You didn't
super
say
simple.
Pac-Man.
You need no Pac-Man.
So we
You
can't
need,
do
you
any.
need
Okay.
go on, Simon.
We can't do like Mario, like in the Mario, like that.
No,
We
you can do
like
Mario.
pixel.
Mario's around.
We can do pixel
You can
art
do
then.
Yeah, just no like super like Pong, like where you draw two. I don't want you cheating on this one or taking the easy way out.
Okay.
So, give us,
Can you just
I'll probably
draw
give
a
us-
character?
if you put a health bar above him, I suppose it counts, doesn't it?
Sweet.
I'll give us like 6 or so minutes for this one. So, I don't know.
All right.
Grant, right? So, Efren, this is the top of something you want to talk about. I was kind of unaware of this. But you mentioned it to me yesterday. Do you want to take over there?
Yeah, I've been reading on social media that Disney Plus is going to be taking some movies away like Netflix does. And I was thinking, why are they taking movies away? What does it matter to them? Somebody mentioned on that chat, like it was on Instagram, that whenever a movie or anything is shown, the actors get residuals too, I did not know that, somebody makes money off of it, so I guess they're trying to scale back and, not pay as much, but they're coming out with new shows all the time. So I'm not sure how much this is going to affect anyone. I can guarantee you they're going to raise their prices again somewhere down the line. They do.
Oh, 100%. That's going to
It's Disney. Is everything going back in the vault?
Yeah. Well, so I was looking into this today, and a few shows that have been in different regions anyway taken off. Prison Break 24 lied to me. I know, like Prison Break is one that just gets continually watched. Like sort of a Breaking Bad. Someone's always watching that at some point.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so it's one.
What?
So it's on my list. It's too long at this stage. How many seasons is it now?
Just
Yeah.
watch
I
the
do
first
like
couple seasons.
You can't do that. You gotta watch the whole thing. Yeah. But like 24, for example, like you were saying about residuals. So like what's the actor's name again? I'm blanking.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Would he get paid now for this just being on it, or would it be determined by how many people are watching it?
Now, are these shows that you're showing, are these on Disney Plus from where you guys are at?
Well, we have on Disney Plus, all the Fox stuff is on there.
Oh,
It's called Star. So even the Hulu is on that as well.
Yeah.
So these were on Star. I don't know if I didn't check today if they were still on it. Currently, but I know in some regions these have been removed.
Because we don't have these shows on Disney Plus over here, but 24 is one of my favorite shows, man.
It'd be on Hulu, I'd say. So we have Stars is over here. It's called. Surely, though, this isn't going to affect like the stuff we care about, really, the nerdy stuff. Like they're not going to take any Marvel things away,
so. That's the money machine, isn't it? So I wouldn't have thought they're going to take those things away.
Well, they own these fully as well because they own Fox. So like, 24 and Prison Break are owned fully by Disney. But I'm assuming for Star Wars, there's not many actors getting money from them. I wouldn't think. I don't think like Oscar Isaac is getting residuals from Force Awakens or anything. I can't imagine so. Anyway, I wouldn't think so. I'd say they signed them on early in their careers. They just wanted to be in Star Wars, so they could have screwed them over. Like I know Harrison Ford gets like 0.5% of the original Star Wars movie, and he still gets millions a year from it.
Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Be all right.
Yeah. But yeah,
obviously, it's going to save Disney money. I mean, I know some people who pay for this service are probably not going to want to see some of these movies or shows that aren't available anymore. So if they're doing it, and Netflix does it all the time, obviously, it works, and it'd be interesting to see which shows they take off.
I'm assuming they are looking at view numbers as well, like that. Is it worth keeping on? But like Disney has, I believe, in the last month it came out, it's lost 4 million subscribers. Now Netflix, just 2 years ago, reported its first subscriber loss in 15 years or something. So like Disney, it's only been out for 3-4 years already. It's losing subscribers.
Speaking of that, what Netflix is doing here, I'm not sure if they're doing it in the UK. That say I have Netflix and anybody in my household can watch it, but if I give my password and information to somebody else that's out of my house,
they're doing that over here.
Daughter, it's gonna be extra fees.
It's password crackdown, like there's password sharing. But I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago talking about that. The Weekly Planet, really great podcast. If anyone, I'm sure.
I love the Weekly Planet.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. But the way they put it, and I thought this was perfect. As soon as you make something harder to watch than just pirating it, people are just going to pirate it.
Yeah.
Like if you're making it more complicated to watch on your app, like if I have to download a code to watch something abroad because on my own app, then people will just go onto a website and pirate something instead. So
just go back, I think that's DVDs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a problem. I think you're going to see huge subscriber dips after that, 100%. And there's no way they'll recoup that. People just I'll just find a website and watch on that instead. Yeah, interesting. But what's your opinion on Disney Plus at the moment? Anyway, with all the shows that they're kind of doing, are you happy with?
I'm happy with it, as long as they keep on coming out with new content. I mean, besides Marvel and Star Wars, they have National Geographic, which is pretty good, on there. Yeah. And they have ESPN. They show some sports things too. So I've had Disney Plus from the beginning. I don't see myself ever not having Disney Plus, to be honest with you, because I really enjoyed it. I'm the criteria that they want, guys like me who just enjoy this stuff, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I just finished watching The Bad Batch. I can't wait for season 3, and they better not delay it by the season strike, man. That was a good show. I really liked it.
I'd be curious if that's written already. I don't know about the animated stuff. And there's also Tales of the Jedi. I just watched that today, Tales of the Jedi, because I've been in a big Star Wars buzz lately.
Yeah.
And they only announced season 2 of that at Celebration, so I don't know if that's already written and they're going ahead with that. That might end up getting delayed as well.
Speaking of Disney Plus, do you know when What If? I hope it's not delayed, season 2, because I really enjoyed season 1. Gosh.
It's not this year, so I assume it's next year, but there's a lot of stuff next year. There's Echo and Daredevil was supposed to be What If, and then I feel like there's two other shows I'm forgetting as well. I don't know, but it's been a couple of years since the first season, so you'd think the next one would be around, especially when weren't 2 or 3 of them being held for the next season, like they're already done, and they just didn't put it in the first season, like the Go Royal, the Alzheimer one, and everything. Yeah.
One more thing about the strike, the Marvels, the movie that's coming out in the fall. That may be the last Marvel movie for a while because of the strike. You know.
Oh yeah. What's the movie coming out in the fall?
Marvels.
Oh,
that may be the last Marvel movie for a while.
What's due after that though? What's the next Marvel movie supposed to be?
Blade, isn't it?
Blade was the end of the year. What's in like April next year?
I don't know, but
it's slowed it all down, haven't it? So we're not doing as many.
Thunderbolts, maybe.
Thunderbolts is early next year. I think that's okay because that's like finished filming at this stage.
But what if they have to do rewrites? You know, it may be delayed because of that.
You just can't do reshoots, I guess. Like that's it. You know, you have what you have. And like that, you know, could be a bad thing. So you know, we'll see. But like even like on movies, there's usually writers on set. So if you're doing a scene and it's not really working, a writer will do a quick rewrite and you try it again, like that day or the next day or something. So yeah, I don't know, crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's enough time, guys. So if you want to show me what you got, if I can get my thing down. Right. Who is still drawing? Simon,
done.
Oh, I didn't get enough. Definitely didn't finish it. I started doing like a Pokemon scene.
Oh, nice.
I love that, man.
That's very good.
I was literally just about to write some text.
I mean, it gets the point across. That's great, man. I love that. You got the spritiness of it really well.
Yeah. That's why it took me a while.
GP.
So imagine yourself walking through a graveyard and then get your gun ready to shoot it.
You could have just done a little target and it would have been bonus.
Shit, 2 seconds.
I like that. I'll come back to that. Yeah.
But, I'm gonna throw a target now.
All right. Well, I started doing the dog from Duck Hunt, but I thought I would give it a guest star of Ginger Kong.
That's great.
There's your clip, GP.
Yeah.
There's me clip.
Kev.
I invented a game called Call of Breakfast.
Nice.
So there's my hunger bar at the top. There's my ammo bar, which is butter. So I'm running low on butter. I got my map of the kitchen, and there we go. Yeah, first person breakfast making game.
There is isn't there a game like I Am Bread or I Am Mayo? Those are like games as well.
I was gonna say Nintendo have definitely got a game like that somewhere.
Yeah,
there's like a game where you make toast or something.
Yeah,
I drew you some targets.
Perfect. Okay. Phil.
So do you remember like back in the day at Facebook's peak, you had a game called Farmville?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I haven't finished, but I was trying to get the Farmville game. There's a pumpkin.
Nice.
And there's some tomatoes.
Nice.
I like the
tomatoes. That's all you need.
It's like an early playthrough. 2 have we not got yet? Charlie, did we do?
No, I haven't. No.
There we go. Okay.
I went for quite simple. Mario. He takes a mushroom, but then gets stuck halfway.
You cool with it though? He's like,
that's great. Peace.
I've gone classic. I've gone proper old school. I've done.
Frogger.
Nice.
Frogger. Nice. Love it. Very good. All right, guys, hold them. There you go. Hold them up there. Phil.
They have to.
Nice.
Reluctance in Phil's face.
I love that.
That was a good round.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Right. Okay, this is a selfish one now I threw in here.
Oh, it's a clicker.
Oh.
It's a fucking clicker.
So, well, it could be if you want it to be. I want a PlayStation character. Right. So you have a few options here. You can Google a few, or if you know one yourself, a character predominantly associated with PlayStation. So you got like Lara Croft, Nathan Drake, Kratos, Crash Bandicoot. You could do a clicker if you want to. I'm no Spider-Man because we did Spider-Man a few episodes ago, so I'm not gonna.
I was totally just thinking, I'll just bust out
Spider-Man. So there you go. So I'll leave them up for a minute, or if you want to do your research, I'll give you a minute.
Quick question, James.
Yes.
PlayStation and Xbox. What do you prefer and why?
I prefer PlayStation. If you just look at the screen of characters, I think you could see why. Like, it's just a better lineup of games. The kind of focus of those games, like storytelling, is really the big part of them. Like a lot of them tell better stories than most movies, and just some really amazing universes. You know, The Last of Us, Uncharted, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon. You know, they're just incredible. Another part of it is nostalgia. I didn't have an Xbox growing up. I had a PlayStation, so you know my love of it stems from there. But at the moment, I think it's undeniable that if you're going to get an Xbox or a PlayStation, you go for a PlayStation because it's just better games on it.
Now, what about the graphics? Which is better, in your opinion, PlayStation or Xbox?
They're about neck and neck at the moment, I think. I think technically the new Xbox, like the premium one, is a bit more powerful, but you don't notice it really on the games. And I think PlayStation at this stage, the developers are so good that the graphics end up looking better anyway, you know, even though the Xbox is technically more powerful.
A couple more questions.
Yes.
I'm not a video game expert like you. When somebody writes a new video game, why don't they sell it to PlayStation and Xbox, or do these people just work like for PlayStation or Xbox?
So there's different kind of parties. So you have first party, which would be a studio that Sony owns. So they make a PlayStation game. It's just for PlayStation. Then you have third party. So that's like, say, Ubisoft or EA. They make a game and they put it on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, or whatever. And then you have second party as well, where it's a studio that, say, Sony doesn't own, but they make a game and Sony publishes it and Sony owns the rights to the game. So those are kind of the three different ways. So that's why, yeah. So like Xbox owns Halo and they own the company that makes Halo currently. So that's why Halo's only on Xbox.
So Spider-Man is only on PlayStation or is it on Xbox too?
It's only on PlayStation because they signed a deal with Marvel to put it there, and the company that makes it is owned by Sony, so it can't ever be on Xbox.
Cool.
So that was a win for us anyway. All right, I'll throw the timer on now. So you have your 5 minutes. So after we got some pretty exciting news about Superman, but there's kind of short list for the cast. Kind of came out over the last day or so. The Hollywood Reporter let this out. I'm just curious. Are you familiar? I'm sure Nicholas Hoult, obviously, you're quite familiar with. He's apparently up for either Superman or Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about him for Superman. Like, I don't think he really fits that role. I know he was like second runner-up for Batman. So he obviously wants to be a DC hero, and I know that Warner Brothers have been a fan of him since like Mad Max. Like, he was in Mad Max Fury Road for them, and they've just liked working with that actor since then. So I think he'd be a great Lex Luthor. Don't know what's your take on that?
Yeah, he looks like a Lex Luthor type character. You know, I don't think he'd be a Superman. If James Gunn is watching this video,
he will be.
Henry Cavill is Superman. Why?
Yeah.
You know, that guy, I mean, he just looks like him. You know, this actor on the left, nothing against him. I think he's in, you know, I've seen his picture too for Superman. He's going to have to bulk up a lot. You know?
So this actor now, when I saw his name, I didn't know who he was. David Cornsweet is his name. Now, he is actually in a movie I've seen, and I loved him in it. It's called Pearl. And he plays this kind of sleazy projectionist guy, but he's like initially one of the most likable characters. He turns out to be a dickhead later on, but he's I thought he was fantastic in it. And when I heard it was him, I was like, oh, I actually quite like that. Now, I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I think I'm just at this stage just kind of have accepted it in my soul that this is happening. So I think he could be a good Superman. Like, I'm quite interested to see that.
Is the James Gunn stuff, is it going to be completely, is this like its own thing, or is this going to be connected to like the Flash movie that's coming out and all that?
Flash is like a reset, I believe, at the end of
Is it going to be a reset and then they're just rebooting the whole thing?
And they're keeping the Suicide Squad stuff.
Okay.
Keeping anything
And-
James Gunn worked on, basically.
Basically,
Keep
yeah.
anything
Anything he likes, you know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So So I think he'd be a great Superman. I'm actually interested to see him in the role. I hope he is the one that gets it.
Jumping on Alex's question, I know Flash, Blue Beetle, and I think one more movie. They're going to be like Elseworlds. You know, they're not going to have, you know, connected to what his vision will be. You know.
Well, I know the Batman.
Oh, the Batman, yeah.
Penguin and Batman too.
Joker is not part of this.
Joker's Elseworlds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should just to shut everyone up, give Zack Snyder a movie to finish off and call it an Elseworld thing. Like, I don't know why you don't just save yourself the hassle and just do that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, this casting side. So Lois Lane, Emma Mackey. I'm gonna have it here.
Never heard of her.
She's in a few things. She's in
Sex Education. She's quality in it.
Sex Education. She is in. She was in a movie I saw called Babylon as well. She's quite good in that.
She's in the show Sex Education. I don't remember her. I've seen that.
She's the one that looks like Margot Robbie.
Okay.
She looks exactly like Margot Robbie. She's actually, I think, even in Barbie as well as like a.
Is she the lead actress in Sex Education?
One of them. She's blonde in it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's also she's going to be in Barbie. And another actress that's up for it is Samara Weaving. So have you seen Ready or Not?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
No. So she's the main actress in that. She was in Scream 6. She's the like opening victim.
They're thinking her for Lois Lane.
Her, Emma Mackey, and there's another actress called Rachel Brosnahan, who I've never heard of. I don't know. I've never seen her in anything. But I quite like either Samara Weaving or Emma Mackey. I think they'd be really good just actresses I like. So it's interesting. I don't know if I want Lex Luthor as the villain though. I think just do Brainiac. Like, let's see.
Yeah, give us
let's see a character we've not seen yet on screen.
That would be nice. Right?
Yeah. But you can have Lex in it and not have him be the main villain, I guess.
Well, and that was the nice thing with the Batman movie that they like. All right, we've all seen the Joker. We get the Joker. We have like 30, and then they like. All right, well, let's just do like 5 at once. All right, here's Catwoman. Here's Penguin. Here's Riddler. It's fine.
And everybody's sort of
crazy thing. Have like 15 characters in there.
It's because they all like works well together. It's not like any one of them is necessarily the lead villain.
Right, exactly.
That's why it works. It works well in there. You know, like Spider-Man 3, you had 3 different villains who it was supposed to be their movie, like 3 different movies together instead of them all working naturally together. So but I'm excited about this cast if this ends up being it. So
I think one thing that they should do on at least a semi-regular basis is bring, and they're doing it, but bring back Michael Keaton more often. Just somehow, put him in a couple of more movies.
Well, I don't know, because he was supposed to be in Batgirl, that got shelved. Then he was supposed to be in Aquaman in a post-credit scene, that got shelved.
If we're Michael Keaton Batman Beyond movie with him kind of old.
Yeah, they were doing it and that got shelved.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we might not see him again. Hopefully we do, or even just do another. Get Tim Burton and do another.
Did you know Michael Keaton's a stand-up? He used to be a stand-up comedian. I've seen him one time in San Francisco years and years ago.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
He used to be a comedian. It was great.
Yeah, because there was a lot of thing about him being Batman because he was a comedian, and people didn't think he was going to be right for the part.
Yeah.
It's always complicated.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, it was like, oh, it's the guy from like Gun Ho, or like
Beetlejuice,
like Mr. Mom or whatever.
You remember that movie he made, Alex, with Henry Winkler, Night Shift?
Which one?
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that movie, Night Shift, with Henry Winkler? They played. That's such a hilarious movie. Michael Keaton was in it. You guys should watch it. They work in a morgue, and they turn it into like a bordello, or prostitution. It's funny.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of those movies are like perfect for like if it's like Sunday and you flip on the TV and you're like, all right, well this is on, but also like I don't know, like Twister is on this channel. I'll go back and forth between these two. It's good. Like I'm not gonna go out and buy these DVDs or like even make the attempt to stream them, but if it's on TV, it's worth catching between commercials.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Back I think in the 1980s that movie came out. It was with Shelley Long also.
Oh yeah, well, Night Shift.
It's called Night Shift, I believe. Yes.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Pens down.
You know, I don't think Simon ever pays attention to you when he says pens
Well,
down.
that's why Simon goes first.
All right. So I drew, because he's your favorite, Spyro.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a good one, man. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, you got the facial
Yeah.
expression right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I dig it. Charlie.
Going for a man crash.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
very cool.
Cool.
Nice.
Taking it right. Loving it.
Phil.
I also went for Crash, just less good.
Not bad at all, man.
That's good.
Very cool. Very
that's
cool.
good.
You get better, Phil.
Yeah, the internet showed me how to do it. That's YouTube videos and how to draw a Crash.
How to draw Crash in 7 minutes. Kev.
I did a chibi cloud.
Oh,
Nice.
very cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Alex.
I did I decided to be trendy and do Crash too. There he is.
Oh, very cool.
I love that.
That's good.
Very cool.
You, Pete.
I did Sackboy.
Sackboy, nice.
Boy, nice.
He said "suck boy." I was like,
What's
Sackboy.
Sackboy.
What's
I like it,
Sackboy?
Sackboy.
I've never heard of Sackboy.
Little Big
I
Planet.
just seen the
Remember-
picture of it on the.
remember, Peter, we were at the convention. I bought one in Forbidden Planet.
Oh,
For
yeah.
8 quid, that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking,
Well,
So you go.
I did, because I know it's your favourite, but then I fucked it up, basically, and he looks like he's
I did Spyro as
had a
well.
bad night on the town.
How does he seductive Spyro?
it's the big teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. It's a Spyro pick, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, throw them up there.
"Oh yeah."
Nice.
Very cool.
Love it.
Good stuff.
Righto. So we're on the last bit now. This is channels, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah. So, people in the comments, drop a line. Let us know what game-related thing you want me to draw next. I think Efren's being murdered in his house. Isn't he?
Yeah. It's like come on mute for a sec. It's the birds
Let's
again,
draw
Adam.
what we think's happening to Efren.
Give him the health bar. How much is left?
A lot
An
of red.
Xbox and his wife likes PlayStation. That's what's happening.
He had a buddy, doesn't he? A
He's
buddy.
got he's got dogs and birds and all kinds of stuff. So, Alex, whilst we're waiting for people in the chat to put down what they want me to draw, what's going on in your world at the moment? What are you currently working on?
Well, right now I'm doing a couple projects that I still can't talk about, but they're gonna be good. And
Naturally, yeah.
but yeah, so I'm in like I've done first issues of both these projects, and I'm in the middle of like the second issue. Same time, still doing sync, and working on like issue 12 right now. So that's going along, and but
Yeah,
no, I'm
I
still.
think
at
I've just had word that mine's shipping this week. The last Kickstart one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what issue it is. The one with the is it a
Oh yeah, the issue 11. That's
yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, that's coming out this week, I think.
Yeah,
How about-
that was funny. It was because like the main character is based off John's grandmother, and who I've never met this woman, but I really want to because apparently, like John will tell the story better than I can, but apparently like she was watching like some hardcore movie, and John suggested Old Boy, like the original Old Boy.
Yeah.
And she sat down and watched it, and he was like, "What do you think?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's kind of tame." And I was like, "Really? All right." And she's just like, and so John was like, "Yeah, I want you to draw my grandmother." This like, yeah.
Very cool.
I have a quick question for Alex and Kevin. When you guys go to conventions and when you do commissions there, I assume.
Sure. Yeah.
How long does it take you for each individual commission? Here you got like about 5 or 10 minutes, but how many commissions can you do in one day? And basically, how long do you work on each commission?
Kevin, go ahead.
Oh, so I won't get as many as Alex gets, but I tend to do It depends on what I'm drawing, because sometimes you'll have people come up to me and ask, "Can you draw my character, please?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Okay, I'll draw your character." And then they go away for like an hour or so. So I'm just like drawing it for about an hour. But then as well, when you're running the table, so you're like 5 minutes. Oh, someone's coming to ask me something. Put it down.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, come back to it. Put it down. Another 10 minutes later, same. So yeah, I try to be quick, but it's still a skill I'm trying to like acquire to get like really fast at doing really good, really fast. Because people are paying money for it. So yeah.
I know. Like because I'll only if the show's going on, I'll only do like headshots now. Just because I'm like, because if it's a full body, it's like all right, is this arm right? Is this good? And like, is this a good pose? Except like, and you're like you said, you're trying to do this while somebody comes up like, what's the story about? Or what's this book about? Or like, and so you're trying to talk to people. You're trying to, and you're seeing friends come up and you talk to them, and at the same time you're trying to draw this. So, but it depends what it is. I mean, if it's something like Spider-Man, it takes like 2 seconds. If it's Mr. Dig from Sync, I mean, I can do that with my eyes closed. But then it's like, I want you to draw like some weird stuff comes up. I'll say the weirdest commission I've gotten so far was somebody asked me to draw Stitch from Lilo and Stitch as a zombie, like all bloodied up, holding a gigantic dildo. It's also, and I was like, I will take the money first. And
and Charlie, did you like it when it sent through to you? Was it a nice image, Charlie?
It was. It's framed. It's framed. It's good. It looks great.
With your wall of dildo pics. Yeah. All the Disney characters holding them.
Yep, we got them all.
You told me you weren't going to talk about that, but hey.
These things happen.
Right, guys, we have a four-way tie. So we got Assassin's Creed, God of War, Zelda, Earthworm Jim.
Oh, Earthworm Jim. And that's solely because I've played that game. If it's mid-90s, I'm all over it. After that,
we all like
Earthworm Jim, eh?
Earthworm Jim? I like a bit of Earthworm Jim.
All right,
guys. Peter, do you have slides for channels or anything?
Yeah, I might switch my camera off just for a minute whilst I pull things together and stuff. Or are you wanting to go through the slides for shows? If you just go around, go around everybody and see what they're doing.
Bill, what you got coming up? What are you working on?
This Wednesday, for the Nerd Herd, we have read and we're discussing Thanos Wins. You can also go back in time last week and check out GP Venom's ready for that too. But yeah, that's up this week. And but stay tuned for the month ahead because we've got probably our best wave of review books coming up. Can't tell you what they all are, but we're looking forward to it.
Real quick question, Phil. Thanos win what day and what time?
Wednesday. Is this so you can avoid it? So you actually don't like it?
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna put some comments when you guys are talking about. What time is it on your over there?
9:30 our time, which is whatever time it is.
I believe our time here in California.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
I'm gonna. You may block me after I say my comments, but yeah.
That's fine. Just don't give it a score though, because we take the average stuff, and it's my pick, and I want to aim high for the scoreboard, you know. So,
okay.
Simon, you got anything coming up on your channel?
Not at the moment, no. So I have got some ideas what I want to do because I still wanted to review Star Wars Visions if anyone's up for it. So if anyone's watched that yet and want to do a review with me, let me know.
All right, sounds good. GP.
Next week we're going to do Immortal Hulk review, and I've just dropped me haul video, so that is up as well.
Very nice. Charlie,
watch it.
We're in the middle of like rebranding everything and stuff. So, but we've got a couple of videos coming up for like these trade cards and stuff like that. And I'm going to get a couple of reviews out for some retro gaming consoles as well. So, but the Killer Comic Show will be back on the 1st of June. So, yeah.
Nice. And Kev, you said you're at London Film and Comic Con.
Yeah, that's. Oh, when's that? The 8th of July. So I'm going to be there. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'll be selling my last Einherjar comic as well. And yeah, I think I'll probably do a deal because I've got 4 issues of it now. So, and the 5th issue's coming out sometime this year. So I'll be selling them in bulk for a cheaper price than buying the issues individually.
Awesome,
well.
nice. Yeah, I'm trying to make it out to that because there's a lot of good guests. They have a few of the House of the Dragon actors at it.
Yeah, my big draw is Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is there as well. Yeah, I think Dolph Lundgren might be as well. There's a load of good actors. Yeah, I'm tempted to. I don't know because I've had a lot of we had Star Wars last month and I just was on holiday, so I don't know if I'll get to it, but I hope that. So if I do, I'll swing by the stand anyway.
Yeah,
Efren, you got on coming up?
I just dropped a video today. What you've been reading. Peter says I took it from him, but it's these are. I read comic books first and foremost. That's what I enjoy most. So I'm just picking every week. I'm going to be picking between 1 and 10 comic books that I've been reading. These books are coming out next week, and I'm still doing my giveaway on my channel for a comic book for 1,000 subscribers. All you got to do is leave a comment. And next Saturday, if Peter goes live, I'm going to be in Ontario, California, and see if I can go live at a comic book convention. And Chris Claremont's going to be there, Jim Starlin, Joe Rubenstein, and I'm going to do my usual 1 or 2 minute clip with you guys, hopefully. Saturday.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. And then I am on the Adaptapals podcast tomorrow, so that'll be up tomorrow night. So that's on Spotify. We'll be talking about Jedi Survivor, so that'll be a good one. Spoiler review. And then I'll be doing my own Jedi Survivor review next week at some point. So I'll set a date for that. So GP, I believe, is joining for that. If anybody has watched the story or played the game or wants to tune in, just drop me a message. You're more than welcome to.
Simon, somebody says they'll do a review with you for Star Wars Vision right here. Time Traveler. So
I was actually, Simon, going to throw one in with my Jedi review, but if you're doing one on your channel, I'll just hop on for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Has anyone else been watching Watch Visions? Peter, you have?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I like this season more than I like there's more variety in the animation than last season, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Wallace Gromit one. So
I was gonna say I sat down and watched the Armin Studios one, right? And, it was just fun to see them do one of those,
Yeah. Cartoon Saloon, I thought had a good one as well. The Irish one.
I have one more question for Kevin and Alex. When you guys are away from conventions, when you guys like at your home and drawing, do you need complete isolation, or do you have family members bothering you? How do you work? At home.
Oh, a majority of the time, I can't believe it. Most of the time, my son's like hanging on my back and be like, "What you doing? What you doing?" And it's like if it's a bloody scene, I'm like, nothing, no, it just go away. But yeah, no, like where I am right here in my office, this is my home office. Like behind the computer here, like in the other room is the kitchen, and I'm just right at home. So like before this, I just parked my son. He's in the other room, and I just gave him Sonic to play. I said, "All right, play Sonic. Dad's gonna do the show. I'll be back." And as for people coming to bug me, it's all time.
Do you have like certain hours that you work, like a 9 to 5 job, or whenever you feel like that you're gonna draw?
Oh, it's so I'll try to get up early. So I'll be like this morning. I got up at like today was a late day. I got up at like 5:30, and normally I try to get up as like around 5 o'clock. I'll come down and basically just get started until about 7, which is when I gotta get when we start getting my boy ready for school. And where I live, like I'm on like Main Street in my town. Like the school is literally across the street. Mm-hmm. So we'll get them all dressed up. We'll walk them across the street. I'll come back here, and then I'll basically work until it's time to pick him up, which is about like 2:50, like around like 3:00, and then I'll basically just play with him until he goes to bed. And if I didn't finish anything that before then, I'll work at night. But otherwise, I'm just gonna relax and probably fall asleep around 10. That's been my life for a little while now.
I may have asked you this question before, but are you going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, Alex?
I was hoping to be this year, but it doesn't look like it's going to be in the cards.
Okay.
But yeah, so this year I'll be at I'm definitely going to be at Heroes with John Lees and I are going to be down there, which will be a bunch of fun. And then I'll be at New York Comic Con, and whatever else might pop up, I might be around. But yeah, as right now, it was just a bummer because I was at San Diego last year and had a blast, and I was planning on going this year, and for whatever reason, like things just didn't work out.
Okay.
I say that now, and then who knows later today.
All right, guys. I think it's time for the pens down. Earthworm Jim.
I did a quick one, James, whilst I was.
Nice.
Why don't I just do that?
Let's see. We'll go in order. I have him here. GP.
Didn't even finish doing his legs.
There you go.
Looks good though.
That's good, man.
That's nice.
I love that.
I wouldn't finish it now, though.
Simon.
Nice.
Awesome. I love that.
That's very cool, Si.
I didn't get it finish his legs either.
Charlie.
Nice.
Nice.
Phil.
Just trying to do some last colouring in.
Oh, that's great, man.
That's cool.
That's weird.
Nice.
I love that. Yeah. Awesome.
Crisp.
No, I'm not just saying this, but Phil, I can see you drawing Disney characters. I think you're good at it, man.
What universe?
Oh, that's great.
Wow, that's gay.
Amazing.
I was going to draw him with a bloody dildo, but I don't know.
Quick, real quick, just
Imagine trying to get the reference material for that. Showing your wife.
God. And Alex. That's right.
I think Charlie and I did the exact same pose. But
yeah. Nice. The smoking gun and everything.
Very cool.
Very good. All right, guys, throw them up.
Okay, guys, show them up. I love the way everybody continues drawing. Very cool.
I've hidden the rude bit.
These are all great. Earthworm Jim was so awesome.
I think that's my favorite, right?
That was a really good game, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good game, yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you very much as ever. Some superb art there. We've had some great images sent in, so I just want to quickly show some of those off. So we've had some oops. Nice. So Phil, this is from your little girl.
Yes, she's 6. Adeline, we call her. So that's her. She loved the Super Mario Brothers movie, and she obviously wanted to draw like the game. And obviously, as you can tell, she gets her artistic flair from her old daddy.
They're incredible, mate. I really do. So thank you very much for sending them in. James's son sent this in. This is a Nintendo Switch. This is it collapsed, and then this is it extended.
Nice. I love that. That's
really cool. So I love that. So thank you very much. I love that we're getting images sent in. So really do appreciate that. As ever, Mrs. Von Hoot has been sending some absolutely stunning images in. So we've been going through the competition here. This is the rounds that we've been doing. So for her Mortal Kombat, she did a Tiger Man, Robotnik and Sonic, superb. Love this. This was Crash Bandicoot. I love the fact it does it in watercolors. It's
like a whole level, like
yeah. This is very cool. I like that. And then this is
awesome.
Really like that. So thank you very much, Mrs. Von Hoot. Send us your address, and I will send you some comics out as a bit of a thank you for taking part, because you're superb. So thank you very much for that. Right, guys, just to kind of start rounding things up. Next time, we're going to do 80s cartoons. So that can be anything from Thundercats to He-Man to Turtles to
Gummy Bears and
Inspector
Dragon Ball
Gadget,
Z.
anything from the 80s. All right. So any 80s based cartoons. I need a bit of a prime in there, but because I'd like to see a few primes. So yeah, so that's the next Art Attack show. This Thursday on my channel, I'm going to continue on with This Is my new show, and we're going to be interviewing James. So looking forward to that. James
so happy.
Doesn't he?
He always looks happy.
That's when I invited him on the show. Do you know what I mean? His little face. So yeah, so James is going to be doing some questions with me where we kind of unpicking his favorite movie and things like that, and then also showing off some of his collectibles. So he'll be showing off 10 items from his collection. Alex, love to get you on this at some point. It's just a new show, but basically it's just a bit of an interview about your kind of your background and things like that.
Sure,
so
yeah.
Looking forward to doing that one on Thursday with James. Saturday night, I did say I wasn't doing regular Saturday night shows, but we've done one ever since I said I wasn't doing it. So yeah, so I dare say we'll be doing our normal geek review on Saturday, where we'll do the geek report, what you've been watching, what you've been buying, and a little show I like to call what you've been reading, Efren. You know, it's a nice show, that one. So we'll be talking about that as well. And then after that, we're doing our top 3 Marvel Phase 1 scenes. So this is the three of us, me, Efren, and James, picking our favourite scenes from Phase 1 and talking a little bit about that. Just a bit of a shout out to the UK live tubes. Tuesday nights we've got This Week in Metropolis. Please do go and check out those lads because they do some tremendous work. Wednesday, as Phil mentioned, we've got Nerd Herd, where they're reviewing Thanos Wins. Thursdays, Killer Comic Show, but they're having a little break, as Charlie said. We're back soon. Looking forward to them coming back. And on Saturdays, we've got good old Grey Man with his cover slingers. So do check that out as well. And that's your whack. Right. So thank you very much to everybody that's been in the chat. The chat's been buzzing as usual. So we've had loads and loads of comments. So thank you for that. Thank you very much to James and Efren for chairing the show. As ever, some great conversations, some great topics there. Huge thank you to the panel. Massive thank you to you, Alex, for taking your time to come on my little YouTube show. So I really do appreciate it, mate. As ever, everybody, artwork has been stunning. So I do appreciate that. Okay, guys, with that, we'll call it a night and we'll say good night. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye.
Finish the legs.